Grandkids, what outdated tech did your grandparents hilariously misuse? My grandpa Joe got a voice-activated Alexa for his 80th birthday from my Aunt Linda. We all chipped in because he'd been complaining about being lonely since Grandma passed, and we thought having something to talk to might help. Plus, he could ask for weather, play his old Frank Sinatra music, maybe even video call us. We set it up real nice on his kitchen counter, showed him the basic commands. Alexa, what's the weather? Alexa, play music, that kind of stuff. He nodded along, seemed to totally get it, even successfully asked it a few questions while we were there. But then, a few weeks later, he started calling us confused. First it was my mom, then my brother, then me. Always the same complaint. Alexa was being rude and not listening properly, and sometimes she'd hang up on him mid-conversation. We figured he was just having trouble with the voice commands or maybe talking too quietly. You know how it is with older folks and new tech. My mom tried walking him through it over the phone, but he kept getting frustrated saying we needed to come see for ourselves. I kept putting it off because honestly, I was swamped with work and figured it was probably something simple, but the calls kept coming. Julie. Alexa was so mean to me today. She told me she couldn't help me with my music again. I don't understand why she's being so difficult. Last month, I finally had a free Saturday and drove over to help. Soon as I walk in, Grandpa starts going off about how Alexa has been especially disrespectful lately, and how he's thinking about returning her because good customer service is important. I'm thinking maybe the device is malfunctioning, or he's standing too far away or something. So I ask him to show me exactly what's happening when he tries to talk to Alexa. He nods enthusiastically and says, "Oh good, maybe you can figure out why she's being so snippy with me lately." We walk to his kitchen, and I'm looking at the Alexa sitting there on the counter, little blue light ready to go. Looks perfectly normal to me. But instead of talking to the Alexa, my grandpa walks right past it and picks up this old rotary phone that's been sitting on the same counter for probably 30 years. I'm watching him confused as he dials 0 and waits. "Hello, Alexa?" he says into the phone. "This is Joe Richardson. Can you tell me what tomorrow's weather is going to be, please?" I can hear the poor telephone operator on the other end, obviously confused, trying to explain that she's not Alexa and this is just the phone company. Grandpa gets this frustrated look and says, "Now don't start with me again. You told me yesterday your name was Alexa and you'd help me with whatever I needed." The operator, bless her heart, is trying to be polite but firm that she's not Alexa and can't help with weather forecasts. Grandpa huffs and says, "See what I mean?" to me. She's being difficult again. Yesterday, she hung up on me when I asked her to play some Sinatra. I'm standing there watching this whole thing unfold, trying not to burst out laughing. It suddenly all makes sense. The complaints about Alexa being rude, hanging up, not being helpful. For 6 months, my 80-year-old grandfather had been calling the telephone operator every single day thinking she was Alexa. The poor operators were just trying to do their jobs, but he thought they were being difficult when they couldn't play his music or tell him jokes or control his lights. When I gently explained that Alexa is actually the black cylinder sitting right there on the counter, not the telephone lady, he stared at it for a full minute with this look of complete bewilderment. "Well, why didn't anyone tell me it was a robot?" he finally said. "I thought Alexa was just a very patient phone lady who worked for Amazon." Then he admitted he'd been leaving $5 bills next to the phone every week as tips for Alexa's good service, even though she was having attitude problems lately. The best part? When I asked the Alexa to play some Frank Sinatra, and it immediately started playing Fly Me to the Moon, Grandpa's face lit up like Christmas morning. He looked at me and whispered, "She's much more polite when you're here." I showed him how to use it properly, but honestly, part of me thinks those telephone operators are going to miss their daily chats with Joe Richardson. Love you, Grandpa, but oh my god.